Good day. Today we will be looking at algebra. Now, what is algebra? Algebra is like arithmetic. It uses same operations, but algebra introduces element of the unknown. Only unknown in arithmetic is the answer. 1 plus 2 we know is 3. But in algebra, that answer is represented by a letter. In this instant, x. X is used as a placeholder for the unknown value. Bear in mind, any letter in the alphabet can be used, but the most common ones that are used are the letter X and Y. Algebraic equations. It is a mathematical statement that says two things are equal. 3 plus 2 is equals to x. What we have on the left hand side of the equal sign is equals to what we have on the right hand side. So, to sum it up, the known value is equals to the unknown value. So 3 plus 2, which is 5, is indeed equal to x. The main goal of algebra is to find out what unknown values stand for. This is called solving the equation. Let us look at this equation that we have here. X plus 8 is equals to 24. Now, as we can see, this equation is not grouped in terms of like terms. So what we have to do is to group it in terms of like terms. As we can see here, we have a plus before the number 8. Now, we have to take into consideration that when we group like terms, moving the 8 over the equal sign to where the 24 is, the sign before the 8 changes to negative. Think of it as this way. If we want to remove 8 from this side of the equation so that we have unknown values on the own side, we can simply subtract 8 this side and 8 that side. And that will take us to the second line here. 24 minus 8, leaving the letter x equals to 16. Hence, we have solved the equation. Now, let us look at some algebra rules. Rule number 1. Same symbol can be used for many algebra problems to stand for different values. For instance, a very simple, straightforward, 11 plus 2 is equals to x. Now, we obviously know here, x stands for 13, but we already knew that. Now, much similar to our previous problem, where we have 5 plus x is equals to 10. The first thing we have to do is to group the like terms. 5 plus x is equals to 10, as it is directly, cannot be solved. So, similarly to what we did to our previous equation, we subtract both sides by 5. Hence, initially moving that 5 across the equal sign, leaving the x alone on the left hand side and 10 minus 5 on the right hand side. And thus our equation is solved, giving us x is equal to 5. 2. Two or more values cannot be represented at the same time by the same symbol. Let us look at this example here. We have x plus x is equals to 10. Now, we cannot say that each individual x here stands for different values, as that is not true. So, it is false. However, how we would go about this question is, as both x's are the same, we can group them together as like terms, hence giving us 2x is equal to 10. Now, to further simplify that equation, we can divide both sides by 2. And this leaves us with x is equals to 5 as a final answer. Now on to our second example, x plus y is equal to 10. Now as we can see here, each letter represents its own unique value. So hence indeed our rule 2 does take into play here. So 2.5 plus 7.5 is equals to 10. And this is justified and indeed correct, as both letters are different. Rule number 3. Unknown values are dependent on each other. A variable is a value that changes depending on the value of the other. Let us look at a few examples just to solidify this concept. Take here the top row. A plus B is equals to 2. That's alright. But now when we have 0 plus blank is equals to 2, obviously to complete this equation there has to be a 2 here, meaning B would be 2 in this instance. Similarly, we have 1 plus blank is equals to 2. To complete the equation, the value B has to equal 1, and so forth. Similarly now, when we focus on the A's, blank plus 0 is equals to 2. Now, to complete this equation, we know 2 plus 0 is equals to 2, and so forth. This is how we go about variables. Arithmetic operations. As we know in mathematics, we have 4 operands. We have plus, minus, multiply, and divide. Multiplication is the operation used if no arithmetic operation is present between the symbols. Let us take into consideration that division can also be simplified by simply putting a slant in between the 2 letters. Now for multiplication, A dash B. As we can see, there is no operand in the middle of the letters, so we can assume it is multiplication. It makes algebraic equations easier and much cleaner, which is very important in mathematics. Where we have a messy, in brackets, A times B plus c times d is equals to 10, it can simply be simplified as AB plus CD is equal to 10. Can also be used for a variable and a known number. 2 times y can be simplified as 2y. Now, it is very important that we are careful when it comes to numbers. 2 times 5 does not mean we can simply put a 2 next to a 5 like we do with our unknown values, as this is wrong mathematically and algebraically. Now, when we are dealing with numbers, brackets or parentheses come into play. 2 times 5 can be written as 2 in brackets and next to it 5 in brackets. Or similarly, 2 times 5 can be simplified as 2 brackets 5 or 2 in brackets 5. That is all for today. Thank you.